Welcome back. Today, we're talking about one of the most anticipated devices of the year, the iPhone 17 Pro Max. The excitement around this launch is already building, and it's not just about performance or camera upgrades this time. For once, the biggest conversations online are not about megapixels, processors, or battery life. Instead, the buzz is all about color. Yes, color. Specifically, one shade that has everyone talking. Apple is breaking tradition, and this simple move might completely change the way people feel about the Pro lineup. For years, the Pro iPhones have carried a certain identity. They were powerful, premium, and serious. They came in colors that fit that image: silver, gray, graphite, space black, and occasionally a deep blue or muted gold. All professional, all elegant, but never truly expressive. If you wanted a fun or bold iPhone color, you had to look at the regular models. But now, that line is about to blur. Because according to leaks, the iPhone 17 Pro Max is coming in a new orange finish. Now, this isn't your bright, neon, playful orange. It's not glossy or over the top. From what we've seen in dummy units and reports, it's a more refined, muted orange. Think of it as warm, classy, and subtle, but still undeniably bold. It doesn't scream for attention, but it doesn't fade into the background either. And that is exactly why people are so excited. Apple has always balanced minimalism with elegance, but sometimes elegance was mistaken for safe and predictable. This orange could be the perfect example of how you can be both sophisticated and expressive at the same time. Imagine holding that device in your hand. You've got all the power of a Pro Max, the cameras, the display, the processor, but the first thing people notice is the color. It's different. It's confident. It's fresh. For years, iPhones have been functional, beautiful, and premium, but rarely have they felt playful. This shade changes that. It feels like Apple finally decided that professional doesn't mean boring. And it's not just about aesthetics. Color is part of identity. The device we carry every single day becomes part of who we are. It's not just a tool for work and communication. It's also an accessory, a reflection of taste, and a personal statement. Apple has always known this. That's why people still talk about the old iMac G3 with its bright colors, or the iconic iPod in its vibrant shades. Those devices weren't just pieces of technology, they were cultural symbols. The orange iPhone 17 Pro Max has the potential to do something similar. For content creators, influencers, and professionals who live their lives in front of an audience, this matters even more. A phone is part of the image. When you post a photo, record a vlog, or simply place your iPhone on a desk, the color says something about you. Black or silver can be sleek, but orange tells a story. It says you're bold, confident, and unafraid to stand out. It's a small detail, but in today's world of personal branding, small details add up. Now, let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Apple has always kept its Pro lineup reserved and minimal. For them, Pro meant understated. But times have changed. People want devices that feel powerful, but also personal. A muted orange is not a random choice. It's a deliberate step toward blending performance with expression. It shows Apple understands that a premium phone can still be fun. But what about the regular iPhone 17 lineup? That's where things get a little different. According to leaks, the standard models are getting 3 new colors, but they look softer, almost pastel-like. One of them is a pale green, and while it might find fans, it doesn't carry the same impact as past colors like the iPhone 12's deep blue or the iPhone 16's teal. It's almost as if Apple is playing it safe here, focusing on soft tones instead of bold statements. And here's where a lot of fans feel disappointed. Because once again, we see no sign of that bright canary yellow. That color made its mark on the iPhone 14, and people loved it. It was vibrant, cheerful, and different. But Apple toned it down in the iPhone 15, skipped it entirely in the iPhone 16, and now it seems absent from the iPhone 17 series as well. For many, yellow wasn't just a color. It was a personality. It made the phone feel alive. And pairing orange with yellow across the lineup would have been a masterstroke. Orange brings warmth. Yellow brings brightness. Both together would have given users a choice between two bold identities. Instead, what we're getting is a clear split in Apple's strategy. The Pro Max goes bold with orange. The regular models go soft with pastels. And maybe that's intentional. Maybe Apple wants to give the Pro models a new edge, a new level of desirability. For years, the Pro line has stood out because of performance. Now, it also stands out because of color. It's subtle, but it changes the game. Think about how people shop for phones. Specs matter, yes. Cameras matter, yes. But the first impression? That's visual. That's design. That's color. A bold color can pull you toward a product before you even think about megapixels or RAM. Apple knows this. It's not just about selling a phone, it's about creating a device people emotionally connect with. This is why the orange iPhone 17 Pro Max feels bigger than just a new paint job. It represents a shift in Apple's thinking. A willingness to experiment again. A recognition that devices are fashion as much as they are technology. A phone is something you carry everywhere, every day. It should be more than powerful. It should also feel like an extension of you. And that brings us back to what makes this so exciting. For years, people said Pro meant serious. Pro meant minimal. Pro meant muted. But Apple is rewriting that definition. Pro can now mean bold. Pro can mean expressive. Pro can carry personality. And the orange iPhone 17 Pro Max is the first clear sign of that. But color is only one part of the story. As striking as orange may be, hardware is only half of what defines the iPhone experience. The other half is software. This year, Apple is preparing one of its biggest updates yet. iOS 26 promises a completely new design language, fresh features, and a whole new way to experience the iPhone. Now, we all know Apple launches a new iPhone every year. We also know the upgrades are usually about performance, cameras, and software. But this year, something feels different. Something feels bigger. It's not just the chip. It's not just the cameras. It's not even the software. It's the colors. Yes, you heard that right. The colors. For years, Apple has played it safe with the Pro series. Silver. Graphite. Black. At most, a deep blue or a muted gold. Elegant, yes. But predictable. This year, though, Apple is stepping out of its comfort zone. Leaks and dummy units suggest a bold new shade. An orange finish. Not a bright neon orange. Not a glossy toy-like orange. But a muted, refined orange. A color that feels modern, premium, and expressive. Think about that for a second. An orange Pro Max. It's subtle, but it makes a statement. It doesn't shout. It whispers with confidence. It says, I'm different. But I'm still classy. And that's a huge shift for Apple. For years, Pro meant serious. Pro meant professional. Pro meant boring. Now, Pro means expressive. Pro means stylish. Pro means powerful, but also personal. Let's take a step back. Why is this such a big deal? Why does a single color create so much excitement? Because Apple doesn't choose colors randomly. Every shade has a story. Every finish has a purpose. Apple studies trends. Apple listens to customers. Apple knows how to make small changes feel like big revolutions. Remember the iPhone 5C? Bright plastic colors. It wasn't a huge seller, but people still talk about it today. Why? Because it dared to be different. Remember the iPhone 12 in blue? It instantly became iconic. That one shade defined the entire lineup. Or the iPhone 14 in yellow? It wasn't just a color. It was a personality. Bright. Fun. Optimistic. People loved it. People wanted it back. And yet, Apple skipped it in the 16 series. So when rumors suggest orange is coming to the Pro Max, people pay attention. It's not just about looks. It's about identity. It's about how you feel when you hold the phone. Let's be real. A smartphone today isn't just a tool. It's an accessory. It's fashion. It's self-expression. People use cases, wallpapers, widgets, all to make the phone their own. But the base color? That sets the foundation. That's the first impression. Orange brings warmth. Orange brings energy. Orange is bold but not aggressive. It's the color of creativity. It's the color of optimism. It's the color of confidence. Apple knows this. And Apple knows its audience is changing. Creators want devices that reflect their personality. Influencers want phones that stand out in pictures and EOS. Professionals want something elegant, but not dull. Orange balances all of that. It's refined enough for business meetings. It's stylish enough for Instagram feeds. It's unique enough to feel special. Now, here's the interesting part. Apple didn't just wake up one day and say, let's make it orange. This is strategy. This is design philosophy. This is Apple reading the cultural moment. Think about the tech industry today. Samsung plays with lavender and lime. Google goes with coral and mint. Nothing phone uses transparent shells and glowing LEDs. The market is loud. The market is playful. And Apple? Apple has been the quiet one. The minimalist. The safe player. But safe can get boring. And Apple knows that too. That's why the Orange Pro Max feels like a calculated move. It's Apple saying, we can be elegant. But we can also be exciting. Let's dive deeper into what makes this orange special. From leaks, it doesn't look like a flat paint. It looks like a layered finish. Almost like brushed metal with depth. When light hits it, it shifts subtly. Sometimes warm. Sometimes muted. Always premium. That's classic Apple. They don't just add a color. They refine it until it feels timeless. They polish it until it feels natural. They make it part of the brand story. And here's another layer to this story. Color psychology. Yes, colors affect emotions. Marketers know this. Designers know this. And Apple knows this better than anyone. Black feels powerful. Silver feels futuristic. Blue feels calm. Green feels fresh. And orange? Orange feels creative. Orange feels energetic. Orange feels alive. By choosing orange for the Pro Max, Apple isn't just offering variety. Apple is making a statement. Apple is redefining what Pro can mean. No longer just cold and corporate. But warm. Human. Inviting. Now, let's talk about the regular iPhone 17 lineup. Leaks suggest softer tones. Pastel shades. A muted green. Maybe a pale blue. Pretty? Yes. Bold? Not really. And that's the contrast. The standard models are playing it safe. But the Pro Max? That's where Apple is taking risks. That's where Apple is experimenting. And it makes sense. Pro users are loyal. Pro users are passionate. They're willing to pay more. And they want more. Not just in performance. Not just in cameras. But in personality. Imagine pulling out an Orange Pro Max in a crowd. People notice. But they don't roll their eyes. They admire it. It's different, but it's not loud. It's tasteful. It's balanced. This isn't just about one phone launch. This could mark a turning point. Apple might be signaling a new era of design. An era where Pro is not just powerful. It's expressive. And that's big. Because Apple doesn't change its design language lightly. Every shift takes years of planning. Every detail is debated. So if Orange made it to the Pro Max, it's because Apple believes in it. Now, let's talk about fans. Reactions are split, as always. Some people love it. They say it's fresh. They say it's bold. They say it's exactly what Apple needs. Others are cautious. They say it's risky. They say it's too different. They say it doesn't feel pro. But that's the point. Good design always divides at first. Then, over time, it becomes normal. Remember when the notch first appeared? People hated it. Now it's everywhere. Remember when Apple removed the headphone jack? It was controversial. Now it's standard. Orange might feel unusual now. But give it time. It could become iconic.